Right from the start, feel the tension in this courtroom. Mr. Lorenzo is about to explain why he made one of the most chilling decisions imaginable. Judge, he's ready to dissect every word. Buckle up, because this is where truth meets cold legal reality.
Mr. Lorenzo, you indicated that you wanted to be heard, and I in fact have some questions I want to ask you. But first, let me ask you what you want to say regarding the factual basis.
Factual basis is basically very the details of what
you say very good. Do you mean very accurate?
very accurate. Yes, very much so. Okay. They've got all the basics in everything. You know, just the scenario of how things came to be is a little different, but it doesn't change the facts.
Okay.
That's what I would just want to make clarified. It doesn't change the facts. I was there, decisions were made, things happened. People don't know this, but other people were there too. Say this, and states that Schweikert purposely left it out. And it was Michael with Mr. Galehouse was a group decision, and for many different reasons. And but I was in my house. We made that decision. I made that decision clearly. We did it in self-preservation because it could be identified. And I take responsibility because but after we made that decision, they looked at me and they said, should we do this? And I said, sure. So I take responsibility.
Notice that? Lorenzo admits responsibility, but listen closely. He's framing it as a group decision, a psychological move often seen in plea hearings. It blurs the moral line between personal guilt and shared blame, a tactic that can soften sentencing impact if it lands right.
And I appreciate that. Really begs the question that I have, and that is why.
Why? Okay. Do you want me to go into? I won't go into gory details.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, so
But I would like to know why.
I was identified as being speaking with Mr. Galehouse at the bar. That's true. I didn't actually meet Mr. Galehouse. Mr. Galehouse had met another gentleman, the gentleman I invited up. These two gentlemen, I did not know offhand. They were talking to Schweikert. It's in one of my filings at the court before. When they said they knew who I was, and then I realized who they were, and I said, okay, let's all go back.
But listen closely. He's framing it as a group decision, a psychological move often seen in plea hearings. It blurs the moral line between personal guilt and shared blame, a tactic that can soften sentencing impact if it lands right. It starts casual, just a night of partying. But in true crime fashion, that's the moment everything begins to spiral. Ever notice how in so many cases, the most horrifying events start with words like just hanging out? Chills. That's the moment everything crosses the line. Losing control, legally, can transform consent into criminal conduct. What was supposed to be a scene now becomes a homicide.
My household party at the time. Mr. Schweik, and we did all go back. We go in the hot tub. We were going to do all that going on. And at that time, Mr. Galehouse, I think Mr. Galehouse agreed to want to do. I don't want to tarnish the memory of this kid, but agreed to want to do a group thing. We did some drugs. Mr. Galehouse did fall in the garage and cut himself. He actually did do that. That kind of stopped the idea of doing a group gatherings, checks, if you want to call it that. So he was with the other two guys were bondage masters. I was a bondage master. Scott Schweikert was a green. He was a wannabe. So we went into the house. Mr. Galehouse agreed to down. He said he's been done this before. He wanted to do that. So you want me to go into a little bit more?
No. I just wanted to know why they did.
Oh, okay. Well, this is the reason I'm going leading up to. Mr. Schweikert wanted to get some experience. So we allowed him to do some stuff on Mr. Galehouse. Now, I don't know if I should add this, but Mr. Schweikert wanted to have a video done of him having experience as a master. He was taught, and I was videotaping while he was doing this. Mr. Schweikert got carried away. He lost control. He did that once before on a meeting I had with we did together once before, and scared the heck out of the other guy. Anyway, he lost control.
That's the moment everything crosses the line. Losing control, legally, can transform consent into criminal conduct. What was supposed to be a scene now becomes a homicide, and the judge knows it. Watch how her patience tightens as she tries to hold back disgust. 5:37. After
He started to scream and get all upset. We did the video, we put a gas mask on him because he did not want to be identified while being videoed. So that's why the gas mask. We realized that the kid was going to probably call the police on all of us. So we said, how up? We said, this kid can't leave. He's going to identify all four of us. So that was what the decision was made. See where I'm coming from? Because he wound up hurting the kid. We think it wasn't our intention to do that, but I don't think it was Mr. Schweikert's intention to do it, but he was agreeing on what he was doing. He left him to his own volition, and he wound up hurting the kid in his lower extremities.
Who are the other people that were there?
I knew them. I knew who they were because they were bondage masters. And I realized who they were because it was an organization that a bondage master organization. And I was part of that. But I never met them before. They told me they were. That's why they knew who I was. We know who you are. And it's okay. We'll still come back. That's why I invited you. But I didn't know them. I knew them. I know two names. I only know their first names because when you're in that type of club situation, you generally don't give out your last names. That's just not it. You meet, you greet.
Do you agree to provide additional information to authorities should they seek it?
I don't have their names. The thing I have, I don't know how to contact them anymore. I remember one name was John. The other name was Chad or Chuck. I can't even remember. Chad or Chuck is the one that patched up Mr. Galehouse is on. And what do you call it? I don't know how far I should go. Yeah. But I'm trying to be careful. So, but I don't know their names because after this happened, they split. After the body was distributed, and I did not dismember that body, and there's good reason for that, and I can explain that to you. Very good reason.
I don't know the necessary.
Oh. And but it was done by the person that was there because he had medical experience. It was done by Schweikert. I stayed in front because it was Saturday morning. There were people at my house, in my neighborhood. People all stopped and said hello to each other. If I was in the back making noise, they would come back to find out where I was. So homeowner, I stayed in the front with one of the other guys. And if anybody came along, I could say I'm having work done.
I cannot tell you how much what I hear from you infuriates me.
I know it does. I can tell. But I don't know. You're asking me to tell you the truth.
Are there other homicide victims? Other than this evening, are there any other homicide victims that have died at your hands?
No.
Is there any request from the state regarding any questions that I asked Mr. Frank?
I didn't know them. This part's fascinating and disturbing. Lorenzo keeps distancing himself. I didn't know them. It's a classic defense mechanism called moral disengagement, where the speaker minimizes responsibility by blurring social ties. Do you think it's guilt or survival mode? You can feel the judge's fury boil over. Years of legal restraint give way to raw human anger, because hearing a killer justify the unjustifiable, that hits different. And this moment, right here, shows how law and emotion collide in the pursuit of justice. And just like that, the plea is accepted, 2 counts of first-degree murder. But don't be fooled. The real battle begins in the penalty phase. Will Lorenzo's remorse, or his reasoning, weigh heavier when his life is literally on the line? Stay tuned.
We are.
I'm going to find that there is a sufficient factual basis. I am going to find that Mr. Lorenzo's plea guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder is entered into freely and voluntarily. I am going to accept this plea of guilty to these 2 charges at this time. We will now move to phase 2, which is the penalty phase, and that is not something that we can complete today. We discussed last week the possibility of a mitigation counselor, and we unfortunately received some information after that counselor was discussed is not available or would take over a year. This case has already lasted too long for us to wait a year to get to a sentence in this case.